What's going on, everybody? Man, I had to hop on here for just a moment. Got a few questions throughout the weekend, and if you know, I'm chilling with family all weekend, trying to rest and trying to get back on top of the game. So, look, first things first, we're going to get right to it. What we're going to talk about real quick is the Red E market structure. And if I got a little time, I'll do a few examples with a few things that I'm looking at going into tomorrow. If you could, please do me a favor and share this right now. I guess it would help if I did the same exact thing. So go ahead and hit that share button right now. If you are watching live, wherever you are, we're going to break this thing down and hopefully you'll be able to cook with it come tomorrow, while it looks like the market might actually gap up tomorrow with the government possibly reopening. So welcome to those of you who are just tapping in. I know I just got the message out to my people. So good to see all of you guys coming on up in here. All right. So, of course, if you don't have this indicator, you can go to www.rogers1906.com and click add to your trading view. Once you click it, it's going to open the Red E market structure. And I'll tell you, disclaimer, this is not a copy of any other indicator. These are some things that I personally put into Claude AI, which I will be teaching you guys how to create your own indicator again for free publicly here on YouTube and social media. So y'all be on the lookout for that announcement date. But this indicator tells you buy and sells. It has the strat in it. It has Fibonacci's coded and it has relative strength index coded in it. So many different things. You could read the description and see exactly what all is in this bad boy. But we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to show you how I personally set mine up on today. All right, so I'm going to slide right on over to Trading View. And we'll just look at Bitcoin. All right. I know it's the only thing that's moving right now. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just delete my indicator from my chart. I'll delete it. We're going to start completely fresh. So I'm going to go over to indicators. In my case, I'm just going to search the Red E market structure. There we go. We'll click on it. Okay. Once we add this to our chart, let's see if I can make the screen a little bit bigger for you guys. All right. So once I add it to the chart, of course, it opens up with all these Fibonacci's here. Now, the dashboard is supposed to automatically come up, but we're just going to just double click this here. And I'm going to turn off my Fibonacci's. I know that they're there. I know it's coded in there. I just want to turn it off, right? Now, the main dashboard is what's supposed to be in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm going to make that large, and I'm going to put it at the top right corner here. All right, so there we go. All right, now I'm going to keep the font as white. In this dashboard, it tells you a couple things, right? It tells you the position of the current trend. It tells you if that it has a buy signal. It tells you the higher low or lower high, what pattern is present. Your relative strength index, of course, we know 70 is overbought, 30 is oversold, okay? So it also factors in the volume delta, which, of course, is looking at the amount of buying and selling. Therefore, we'll be able to see the bullish and bearish dominance. So it gives us a percentage right now. And of course, Bitcoin on this 15-minute time frame has bullish dominance, okay? We also have bearish dominance down here, so we can see the difference between the two. We could look at the price versus the moving averages. And then, of course, the EMA trend, a strong bull. And then our ratio, it's telling us there's an 8-to-1 chance that we hit TP3 right now on this 15-minute time frame. Now, these don't always just hit right at the level when we expect them to, but it gives us a target if we can break these trend lines that you see on the screen. Now, this big purple box that you're seeing, those are order blocks. So I'm actually going to turn those off too, because if you have those order blocks on the shorter time frames, what happens is it kind of slows down the process of you being able to see things as quickly as you would like, and sometimes it might crash. All right, so we still got some kinks that we're working out here, but of course it's still working. All right, now so I turned those order blocks off. We got the dashboard, and I encourage you to make sure that you make it normal, large, or huge, either one of those, so that way you can visibly see it. Now over here on this bottom left-hand corner, you have a multi-time frame dashboard. Let's actually go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. Let's make it huge, actually. All right, and then I'm going to move this to the bottom right corner. Okay. Now, you can also modify the times that you can look at simultaneously with this multi-time frame dashboard by clicking time frame 1, 2, and 3. So for me personally, I like the 15-minute, the 4-hour, and the daily. Sometimes I may go an hour and then I'll do the 4-hour when I'm day trading, right? So the cool thing about this multi-time frame dashboard has absolutely nothing to do with the 70% or the 30% that you'll see on multiple time frames. I want you to focus on whether or not these are green or red. Okay. Understand that green tells me that it is bullish confluence on all of these time frames, and I could stay in my call, or I could stay in my shares, or I could dollar cost average, whatever it is that I choose to do at that particular moment. Okay. So green is good. Green is pure gold. Okay. So now that we have that understood, let's talk about the trend lines here. Now, these trend lines, you could change the colors of them if you want to. You could adjust the thickness of them by just hitting the up and down arrow so you can see them a little bit better. Most times I do actually make mine, I love them all thick, but I do like to change the color sometimes as well. Since I did just basically delete the prior setup, I'll just leave it as is. We'll make that thick here. We also have exponential moving averages coded into this as well. Okay. Now, the exponential moving averages that I personally like to use are the 9, the 21, the 50, and the 200. Sometimes I'll do the 10 and 20, but I figured I wanted to move a little faster. Now, of course, I like thick lines, so I'm going to make all of these EMA width 5. Okay. So I make them all 5, and these colors that I use are colors that I've used since, well, the flawless trading system, right? So I keep my colors consistent on my exponential moving averages, in which case you can see here, there's that 9, there's that 21, there's the 50, and there's that 200. Okay. Now let me just delete these white lines I've drawn because those are prior levels that I mapped out when I looked at Bitcoin the last time I looked at it. Okay. Now we got all of that out the way. Let's talk about the candles themselves. So when the candle is neutral, it'll be white. You'll also see that coinciding time frame on the coinciding color right here in the signal box. Now, as you see, it just flipped baby blue. Now, baby blue is actually a buy candle. We'll have green that will come before the baby blue, which will be like a weak buy. All right. So it goes white, green, which is weak buy, baby blue, buy, royal blue, strong buy. Okay. Now, on the downside of that, let's just zoom out on Bitcoin. Let's look at the daily here. So, on the downside of that, what you see is you'll see white as the neutral again. And then you have yellow that comes up and it'll say weak sell. Then you have your orange, it'll simply say sell. And then you'll have your red, which will say strong sell. So, for example, let's see if we go back. Bitcoin's been pretty bullish, but let's look at the daily here and see if we can find a red candle so you can see one just to slide back. So here's one. So that's the red that it turns to when it's coming down. All right. So once you understand those candles and how it shows the pressure of the neutral trading point, the weak sell, the weak buy, the sell, the strong buy, the strong sell, it gives you another layer of confluence of looking at this dashboard here. Okay, let's slide back to the 15-minute time frame here on Bitcoin. All right, so now that we have the candles understood, there's something called a strat. Now, this is an actual strategy that has been effective for many, many years. Now, I got to give a shout out to my friend Brian Yu. Back in 2023, he taught me the strat. He was like, bro, start at the 4-hour time frame with the strat always. All right. So I was like, okay, cool. I figured out that, man, if I do this, I can kind of see what's getting ready to happen on those shorter time frames. So I won't get into all of that with you guys, but let's just talk about what the strat does. Okay. So the one is what you call an inside candle. You never, ever, ever want to trade on that one. Okay. Never trade on the one. Twos tell you the direction. Okay. And the threes have a trend that reverses. All right. So here, for example, I'm zooming in. So we see 2 ups You see the 2 here, how it goes up. In fact, if you can't see it, double click it, come down to where it says the strat. Label size, you can make them larger or huge. Okay. So I'll just make it large just for this example. So we have a 2 going up. All right. 2s confirm the uptrend here. They actually turn green. When the 2s are coming down, they'll be orange. All right. Sometimes they may actually even turn red if it's really, really bad, but they coincide with the strength of that candle. Okay. Except for when the baby blue and blue comes in. All right. Now, when you see the 3, in most of these strat indicators that I've seen, the 3 will just be a 3. It doesn't tell you whether it's a 3 up or a 3 down. Well, ready market structure, flip that switch. So right here, when we get the 3, it's pointing up right here in this example, followed by the 2s telling us it's going up. Now, of course, there are patterns within the strat, like a 3-2-1 reversal or 2-1-2 or 1-2-3. There are different ones, but if you know what the numbers mean, it doesn't really matter what the pattern is. All right. So I see here that we got 2 ups on Bitcoin looking at the 4-hour time frame. We got a baby blue candle telling us it's a pretty decent buy. Now, we've already kind of broken out of the downtrend that it was previously in. So we're going to see this RR to TP3 actually get wider until it automatically changes when we break the next exponential moving average or Fibonacci. So again, the Fibonacci's are there, but we ghosted them. So they're not necessarily checked to be seen, but they're already coded into the indicator. All right. So that covers the strat. But here's something that's really dope about this one. For every candle where it has a buy or sell signal, let's actually minimize these numbers again on the strat. Let's make them back normal. Okay. So we're going to go to the strat size. We're going to hit normal. All right. Now there's something called a pivot that happens, right? Of course, there's an indicator that's free called pivots that's default with TradingView that you can see like different levels for pivots. Well, this one just codes the pivot transition in there. So for the pivot label, it's actually going to be at the top, right? There's the length and then the size here. We can make them larger or huge or whatever it is. So we see we had a 2 down happen. And then at this candle with the wick, it told us, hey, this is possibly getting ready to pivot. Now we got an inside candle that came here on this 4-hour time frame, but we also caught support on the trend line. So these trend lines also act as levels of support and possibly resistance. And of course, whenever resistance is broken, it becomes what? Support. So every time that has happened or whatever, we actually make a move. So we broke through this resistance and now it is running. Bitcoin is picking up, likely because the government may possibly end the shutdown. Okay. So you've got the EMAs, you've got the buy and sell signals, you got the pivot, all in this indicator. And of course, there are always some other great indicators that you could utilize for free. So what I want you guys to do is make sure that you watch this. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, there is a video explaining how this indicator works. Look, it's showing them live right now, right here. There it is, the only indicator you need. They're furious I'm giving this away. So you might want to go and watch this. I go over these settings very thoroughly. So real quick, because my wife has made it home from work, I'm going to touch on a few tickers and I'm going to get us out of here real quick, just so we can kind of have an idea what to expect going into tomorrow. Let's just start with SPY. All right. So I've got my chart set on extended trading hours, and I'm just going to slide over here to the 15-minute time frame so you can kind of see it in motion. All right. So right now, SPY is sitting at 672.35. We've already made a big move to the upside. We're possibly going to test this 200-day exponential moving average. Now, granted, when the market closed on last week, SPY was still technically in a bearish position. So if SPY gets over this 200-day exponential moving average at 672.71, which is likely going to happen roughly around 3 a.m. Eastern time, we'll see it possibly break the stop loss for the downtrend on SPY at 673.28. Okay, so here's something else. When this happens, it will give you new levels and new target prices. It's also going to give you a ratio of it hitting that particular target price. So currently, as I previously stated, when the market closed on Friday, it was in a bearish trend. Notice how it tells us there's a 34.9 to 1 chance that we hit TP3, meaning that we're far away from that bearish action. We also had a pivot take place right here on Friday as well, pushing SPY back up in the latter part of the trading session. So SPY looks pretty daggone bullish. And if I had to guess, based on what I'm seeing here, let's actually zoom out to the hourly right now. And I'll actually turn this off before my levels actually even come up. First thing I'm going to be looking for is 673.11, 675, and 674.17. When I'm looking for levels, I simply look left at the last time that the candle structures have changed. Turn all the indicators off. I talk about mapping levels in the Red E University mentorship program, which is free for our members. So you can learn how to do that by joining our Discord. But I'm showing you now, okay? So it's not that complex. Also, I look for any potential gaps that we had in the past. And of course, those also become levels. So tomorrow, I'm looking for SPY to break 673.11, 674.17, 675.29, and possibly could even push up to 676.49. I'll be watching the indicator to form additional golden crosses like we're seeing right here with that 9 and 21 exponential moving average. And then once these candles get over that 50-day exponential moving average, I know that these levels likely will be hit. The 200 exponential moving average will be my target. But guess what? My dashboard is going to show me the same exact thing. And I'll be looking for green on multiple time frames here on the chart. All right. So since we're on SPY, let's just look at QQQ real quick. All right. So QQQ giving the same type of vibe right now. All right. So we've kind of pulled away from that TP3 tremendously on QQQ. We're forming the same golden cross. Let's just delete this line I drew out here. And more than likely, we're going to see QQQ push up to that 614.26. However, we've got to see what a lot of those larger market cap tickers are going to do tomorrow. Your Nvidia, your Microsoft, et cetera, which will also bring SPY up. So those are some of the things I will also be watching as I am trading. Okay. But right now we have a blue candle, which tells us this is a strong buy. QQQ looks like it's about to pump overnight. Okay. Now, also, why not look at Tesla? All right. So Tesla, we saw Kathy Wood sold some shares. And Tesla right now has a green candle. So it's a weak buy right now in the 15-minute time frame. 65-minute, looks like a little double bottom right here. But it had a sell signal on this last candle, but this is a spinning top right here. I hate that candle. But nevertheless, Tesla will definitely be something I would like to watch. We need to see this thing break above 434.24 to have confidence of an uptrend. If we break that 424, guys, I'll be looking for 436.73. All right. So I don't want to limit this to just stocks. XRP it had a critical level of support the other day when I looked at it on the 4-hour time frame. It actually looked like it was going to come back down. And then, of course, we had a pivot come in. The pivot changed the trend, and now we've seen XRP come as high as $2.42 today. Okay, we did wick as low as 223. It was looking like we were going to go to 222. Well, it didn't happen. And I'm glad it didn't because I'm still a bag holder of XRP. So right now we got a baby blue candle on the 4-hour time frame. XRP looks extremely bullish. When ISO 222 goes live, man, we got all these discounts that have happened in the past 2 weeks. So, man, I am ready and thrilled to see XRP push up to at least 245, break this trend line, and possibly squeeze itself on up to about the 256 to 258 price, with positive news, hopefully, about ISO 222 adoption and the XRP use case, and the government may be reopening. So these are just a few things I just wanted to touch on this. Again, I don't want to spend too much time. I want you guys to go over to www.rogers1906.com. Go ahead, add the indicator today. You could also go to my YouTube channel directly from there. Most of you guys already know where that is. And then just simply type the Red E market structure in the search. It's going to bring this video up, and you'll be able to see more details about how this works. I'm also going to add the same guide that I gave the Red E Society as I created this indicator on last week to my website, so you guys can download it. Now, let's talk about why I did this, right? It really doesn't have much to do with anybody else, but somebody owed me money, right? And And I was like, well, you know what? Forget about it. People are having hard times right now globally. And me teaching people about the stock market has been all about giving them the ability to have financial freedom in these markets, right? Of course, we do have to have some type of profit if you can from owning a Discord or whatever, but I didn't want to make my prices ridiculous. I didn't want to keep selling classes. I didn't want to do that because I wanted people to have an avenue so they'll be able to feed their family. So I created this indicator because for those that already kind of know a little bit enough to be dangerous, this is going to make you lethal. Okay, so I want you guys to lock in. And of course, you can always tap in with the Ready Society, but that is optional. Okay, it is optional. And we would love to come and mentor you, teach you, and just impart life into your trading style, your journey, and I'll laugh with you, and of course, help you make a lot of money in the process because you might mess around and get rich, right? So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I have really overextended my time. I'm about to go down here. I just got back from Memphis, Tennessee, picking up my sons. And man, I'm about to rest with my wife. So y'all have a wonderful night. Again, I didn't want to take much of your time. Get the Red E market structure, change your trading journey, and never pay for another indicator again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. And remember to keep God first and secure the bag. Yeah. Okay. It's us.